everyone, welcome back to my class. This is Rumana Ali. I hope you all are doing well. In today's class, I'm gonna start a new lesson and the name of our lesson is Rivers, Means of Livelihood. You all know about rivers. Rivers are nothing but water bodies. Water bodies which are present on the earth, they are divided into many types and one such type is rivers. So rivers can be termed, it can be called as a means of livelihood. You might have seen that we get a lot of aquatic food from the rivers. We get different minerals from the rivers. We get water, which is a natural resource, and even many people do boating and shipping. In this way, many people can earn money, and because of this we can say that rivers can be called as the means of livelihood. In this lesson we are going to read about one such river, and that river is River Godavari. This river originates in the hills of Brahmagiri of Western Ghat, and it flows in the district of Nasik, which is located in the state Maharashtra. So in the Maharashtra, one district is present, that is Nasik, where you can see the flow of River Godavari. And this river travels 1465 kilometers to reach our state, that is Telangana. So to reach Telangana, it travels this much long distance, and in Telangana it separates the different districts, like it separates the Nirmal and Jagtial districts of Telangana, and even it divides into three parts. So this river flows and it gets divided into three parts, and finally it meets at the Bay of Bengal, at Antarvedi, in East Godavari and Yanam. In these three regions, you can find the flow of River Godavari, which is finally going to meet at Bay of Bengal. So this is about the origination and the flow of the River Godavari. River Godavari बहुत ही ज़्यादा बड़ी वाली रिवर है जो हमारे स्टेट से भी फ्लो होती है. तो ये एक ऐसी रिवर है जो ब्रह्मगिरी से स्टार्ट होती है. ब्रह्मगिरी के हिल्स जो है वहाँ से ओरिजिनेट होती है, और ये ब्रह्मगिरी के हिल्स वेस्टर्न घाट में प्रेजेंट है, जो कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट नासिक में है और स्टेट जो है महाराष्ट्र है. और ये रिवर 1465 किलोमीटर्स ट्रैवल करती है हमारे स्टेट तक पहुंचने के लिए, और हमारा स्टेट है तेलंगाना, और तेलंगाना के जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं निर्मल और जगतियाल, इन दोनों को भी सेपरेट करती है रिवर गोदावरी. रिवर गोदावरी 3 मेन पार्ट्स में डिवाइड की गई है. अंतर्वेदी, ईस्ट गोदावरी और यनम में देखा जाएगा रिवर गोदावरी फ्लो होती है, और ये रिवर गोदावरी फाइनली बे ऑफ बंगाल के पास मीट करती है. ठीक है, तो इस तरह से ये हो गया हमारा इंट्रोडक्शन पार्ट, लेसन रिवर्स मीन्स ऑफ लाइवलीहुड का, और कहाँ से रिवर गोदावरी ओरिजिनेट होती है और कहाँ पर ये फाइनली मीट करती है, ये सारी चीज़ें अभी हमने पढ़ा है. ठीक है, तो ये रिवर गोदावरी जो है बहुत से लोगों के लिए मीन्स ऑफ लाइवलीहुड है. तो ये किस तरह से मीन्स ऑफ लाइवलीहुड है, नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी अबाउट दैट. So in the river Godavari you can find the presence of many different types of fishes, crabs, lobsters. All these are the different animals that you can find in the river Godavari. Fishermen, these are the people who catches the different animals that are present in the water, who sells that animals which are the source of nutritious diet. We can get a lot of vitamins and minerals by eating fishes, crabs and lobsters. So in this way, fishermen, they are doing a lot of hard work, and they are having special skill to catch the fishes. So fishermen, they catch the fishes by using different boats, like they use conventional boats and motor boats to catch all these animals. And after catching fishes and crabs, they sell that in the market. They earn money for their families by catching and selling the fishes. So in this way, river can be the means of livelihood. It can be a source of livelihood for the different persons, especially for the fishermen, because these are the persons who catches and who sells the fishes, who earn money for their livelihood. In this way, it can be termed as a means of livelihood. तो फिशरमैन यानी ऐसे पीपल जो फिशेस को कैच करते हैं, उनको मार्केट में सेल करके मनी अर्न करते हैं. तो फिशरमैन जो है क्रैब्स, फिशेस, लॉबस्टर्स, ये सारे एनिमल्स रिवर्स में प्रेजेंट होते हैं। इनको कैच करने के लिए वो बोट्स का इस्तेमाल करते हैं और वो बोट्स कन्वेंशनल बोट्स या फिर मोटर बोट्स का इस्तेमाल करके फिशेस को कैच करते हैं और मार्केट में सेल करते हैं। दिस इज वन ऑफ द वे बाय विच द पीपल मेक मनी बाय यूजिंग द रिवर एज अ सोर्स ऑफ देयर livelihood. So this is how the fishermen get the money by selling the fishes that are present in the river. River can be a source of livelihood not only to the fishermen but also to the other persons called boatmen. So water transport is also a way by which the people can earn money, by which the people can make the river as a source of the livelihood. So boatsmen, they bring the different boats and ships, and the people used to travel in these boats and ships by paying. So in such a way, water transport can be a way by which the people can earn money. The people can make the rivers as a source of their livelihood. And many people, they take the pleasure by riding on ferries from Rajamundry to Bhadrachalam, then to Perantapalli. So in this way, the rivers can be a place of tourism. Many people, they come to the rivers to see the beauty of nature, and they travel in the boats and ships that are provided by the boatmen. In this way, boatmen can also get a lot of benefit. They can also make money by using the boats and ships for the tourism. So this is about the fishermen and boatmen. That is about water transport. One can make money by making the rivers as a source of their livelihood. तो boatsmen भी ऐसे persons होते हैं जो बोट्स और शिप्स का इस्तेमाल करके मनी अर्न करते हैं। बोटमैन यानी पीपल को एक प्लेस पर से दूसरी प्लेस पर रिवर को ट्रैवल करने के लिए बोट्स और शिप्स का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है। तो वो बोट्स और शिप्स प्रोवाइड करने वाले होते हैं बोटमैन, और पीपल जो है टूरिज्म की तरह, टूरिस्ट की तरह भी कई रिवर्स को ट्रैवल करते हैं और वहाँ पर बोटिंग भी करते हैं। तो बोटिंग करने के लिए वो लोग को पे करना पड़ेगा। तो इस तरह से बोट्समैन जो है अपने लाइवलीहुड के लिए अर्न कर सकते हैं मनी, और रिवर्स जो है मीन्स ऑफ लाइवलीहुड भी कहला सकते हैं, क्योंकि ये फिशरमैन और बोटमैन ये ऐसे पर्सन्स हैं जिसके लिए एक सोर्स है लाइवलीहुड के लिए। नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन यू अबाउट द डैम्स दैट आर बिल्ड अक्रॉस द रिवर गोदावरी। फर्स्ट डैम दैट is built across the Godavari river is at Gangapur, and this dam supplies drinking water to the different cities like to the Nasik and also to the Triambakeshwar. So this provides the drinking water to the people who are living in Nasik and Triambakeshwar. Many projects were programmed and it was done by the government, and that projects were Jayakwadi, Sri Ram Sagar project, Dhavaleshwaram and Devadula Ethipothala program. All these are the different projects that were programmed by the government in order to provide irrigation. Irrigation is nothing but supplying of water to the fields. So whenever the farmers do the agriculture, they need a lot of water to grow their crops, right? The river Godavari is a means to provide irrigation. This also helps in the process of irrigation. Irrigation is nothing but supplying of water to the different fields in order to grow the crop and to achieve better yield. Not only for irrigation, the water which is collected from the river Godavari, it is also used for the purpose of drinking. So the water which is taken from the rivers, it can be provided as the drinking water to the people who are living in the different cities. And besides this, the water can also be used in the production of electricity. We all know that electricity is very, very important for the human consumption. Each and everything is running with the help of electricity. Without electricity, we cannot assume our world to be going on in a smooth way. So electricity plays a very important role. It plays a key role in our lives. So the electricity can also be produced by using the water that is taken from the different rivers, especially from the river Godavari, following the different projects like Devadulu Ethipothala program and Sri Ram Sagar projects and many others. In our state, that is in Telangana, the farmers, they grow different crops, like they grow sugarcane, paddy, cotton, chili, fruit orchards. These are the different crops that can be grown by using the water taken from the river Godavari. The water which is taken from the river Godavari, it is utilized by the farmers to grow these kind of crops. So in such a way, rivers are very important, and we can call the rivers as the source and as the means of livelihood. Many people depend upon the rivers for their livelihood, like fishermen, boatmen. All these are the different people who depends only on the rivers in order to live a better life. Now I'm going to explain you about the dams that are built across the river Godavari. The first dam that is built across the Godavari river is at Gangapur, and this dam supplies drinking water to the different cities, like to the Nasik and also to the Triambakeshwar. So this provides the drinking water to the people who are living in Nasik and Triambakeshwar. Many projects were programmed, and it was done by the government, and that projects were Jayakwadi, Sri Ram Sagar project, Dhavaleshwaram and Devadula Ethipothala program. All these are the different projects that were programmed by the government in order to provide irrigation. Irrigation is nothing but supplying of water to the fields. So whenever the farmers do the agriculture, they need a lot of water to grow their crops, right? The river Godavari is a means to provide irrigation. This also helps in the process of irrigation. Irrigation is nothing but supplying of water to the different fields in order to grow the crop and to achieve better yield. Not only for irrigation, the water which is collected from the river Godavari, it is also used for the purpose of drinking. So the water which is taken from the rivers, it can be provided as the drinking water to the people who are living in the different cities. And besides this, the water can also be used in the production of electricity. We all know that electricity is very important for the human consumption. Each and everything is running with the help of electricity. Without electricity, we cannot assume our world to be going on in a smooth way. So electricity plays a very important role. It plays a key role in our lives. So the electricity can also be produced by using the water that is taken from the different rivers, especially from the river Godavari, following the different projects like Devadulu Ethipothala program and Sri Ram Sagar projects and many others. In our state, that is in Telangana, the farmers, they grow different crops, like they grow sugarcane, paddy, cotton, chili, fruit orchards. These are the different crops that can be grown by using the water taken from the river Godavari. The water which is taken from the river Godavari, it is utilized by the farmers to grow these kind of crops. So in such a way, rivers are very important, and we can call the rivers as the source and as the means of livelihood. Many people depend upon the rivers for their livelihood, like fishermen, boatmen. All these are the different people who depends only on the rivers in order to live a better life. Now we are going to read about rivers civilization, how the development takes place, how the humans in the ancient time, they used to live near the banks of the rivers. So in the ancient time, in the earlier period, humans have been living at the banks of river because of the availability of water. The people who are living at the banks of the rivers, they use water from that rivers for their domestic purposes and also to grow the different crops. So by growing crops, they can make their own food, and by living at the banks of the rivers, they can get the water for agricultural purposes and also for the purpose of drinking, washing, cooking. All such domestic purposes can also be fulfilled as they are living near the banks of the rivers. The rivers, they facilitate the people to live near them as they can get water, which is an important natural resource. Just before, we have discussed about the origination of river Godavari and also about how the river Godavari can be considered as the means of livelihood for the different people. The land of this river Godavari can be called as the center of spirituality and culture, because many temples are present near the river Godavari, and even the different melas were organized near this river. So it is considered as the spirituality and culture center. Such mela is Kumbh Mela, which is a very big mela. It is organized in Nasik. Many temples were present. Among those temples, 2 Saraswati temples are located near the banks of Godavari, which is situated in Telangana. And these 2 Saraswati temples, one is in Kashmir and the other one is in Basara, where we can see the presence of Saraswati temples. Important celebrations were also organized in these temples, like Vasanta Panchami, Mahashivratri. All these are the important celebrations that can be done in the places Kashmir and Basara, because in these 2 places Saraswati temples are present. So these are the different celebrations that can be done in those temples. And one more mela is present, which is organized once in 12 years, and that mela is Pushkar Mela. This Pushkar Mela is organized at the banks of Godavari, and in this mela many different things can be seen. The people, they believe to take a dip in the river Godavari during that time. They think that it is auspicious to take a dip in the river Godavari during Pushkar Mela, and it lasts for 12 days. And you can find the presence of Nirmal also. Nirmal is nothing but the wooden toys. Many people sell the wooden toys in the Pushkar Mela. So this is about the river civilization. Rivers are considered as the start point of civilization. Economically, culturally and socially, people develop themselves economically, socially and culturally, and that development starts firstly at the banks of rivers. So in this way, rivers plays a major role in bringing up the civilization, in bringing up the economic and social development among people. गोदावरी एक ऐसे रिवर है जिसकी लैंड को स्पिरिचुअलिटी का सेंटर कहा जाता है, क्योंकि वहाँ पर बहुत सारे टेम्पल्स होते हैं और बहुत सारे मेलास भी ऑर्गेनाइज किए जाते हैं. एक सबसे बड़ा मेला है जिसका नाम है कुंभ मेला, जो कि नासिक में होता है, और सरस्वती टेम्पल्स भी प्रेजेंट होते हैं गोदावरी के करीब में. एक कश्मीर में है और एक बसारा में है, जो कि हमारे स्टेट तेलंगाना में देखने को मिलेंगे. ठीक है, और ये टेम्पल्स में बहुत सारे सेलिब्रेशंस किए जाते हैं. इंपॉर्टेंट सेलिब्रेशंस है वसंता पंचमी, महाशिवरात्रि, थोड़े से इंपॉर्टेंट सेलिब्रेशंस है जो कि सरस्वती टेम्पल में ऑर्गेनाइज किए जाते हैं. और एक मेला है जिसका नाम है पुष्कर मेला, जो कि रिवर गोदावरी के पास ही ऑर्गेनाइज किया जाता है, और ये 12 ईयर्स में एक मरतबा किया जाता है, और 12 डेज के लिए ये मेले को ऑर्गेनाइज किया जाता है. और इस मेले में बहुत सारे चीज़ें देखने को मिलेंगे, जैसा कि वुडन टॉयज़, और थोड़े पीपल है जो कि एक डिप लेते हैं गोदावरी रिवर में पुष्कर मेला के टाइम पर. तो ये हो गया रिवर गोदावरी के बारे में, इसलिए इसको स्पिरिचुअल और कल्चरल सेंटर कहा जाता है. ठीक है, सो दिस इज अबाउट द सिविलाइजेशन दैट अकर्स एट द बैंक्स ऑफ rivers. Our next topic is industries pollution. How the industries are polluting the water that are present in the rivers. So how they are polluting the river water. Many industries depends upon the waters of Godavari. Many industrial works can be done by using the water. So water can be taken from the river Godavari. This is how many industries depends upon the waters of Godavari, and by using the water we can generate 2600 megawatts of electricity through thermal power stations at Ramagundam. In many districts, many thermal power stations are present. Thermal power stations are nothing but where we can generate electricity with the help of water. In Ramagundam also one thermal power station is present, and that thermal power station uses the water from the river Godavari, and that water can be used to generate electricity. And the waste that is generated in these industries and factories, waste which is collected from the industries and from the power stations, these wastes are released into the rivers. This is how the pollution occurs. This is how the water pollution can be seen. So as the waste material is going to be released, it is getting released by the people into the rivers, the water is getting damaged, and even the animals, the aquatic animals that are living in the water, they are also dying due to the waste that is released into the rivers. The industrial waste, and even the people who are visiting the rivers, they are throwing plastic covers, plastic water bottles. Because of this, the water is getting polluted and it is affecting the aquatic life also. As the garbage is thrown, as the waste material is thrown away by the people into the rivers, it leads to the growth of many microorganisms. As the microorganisms are growing over the surface of the river, the animals which are living in the river, they are not getting proper oxygen. Due to the depletion of oxygen, they are dying. So in this way, oxygen availability will get decreases due to this oxygen depletion, and this oxygen depletion occurs because of the growth of microorganisms over the surface of the water. As the microorganisms are growing, it is not allowing oxygen to enter into the water, and the aquatic life which is present inside the water, they are not getting enough oxygen and they are getting affected because of this, and this leads to water pollution. These can be the main cause for water pollution. The sewage water, the water which is released out of our houses, schools and offices, that water is called as sewage. It is also flowing into the rivers and polluting the water. This makes the water unfit for drinking. This makes the water unfit for agricultural use. So this leads to water pollution. So what do you mean by the term droughts? If the rains would not occur at a proper time, then this leads to the decrease in the level of river water. As the water is getting decreases, the water will not be available for the farmers to take up for their agriculture use. The water will not be present for shipping and boating, the occupation of many people. This affects the livelihood of the farmers. This affects the livelihood of the fishermen and even boatmen, because these are the persons who are dependent on the water which is present in the rivers. So as they are dependent on the water, if the droughts occur due to the scanty rains, due to the inavailability of the rainwater, droughts can be seen. The water level of the river gets decreases and a lot of problems can be faced by these people. And what do you mean by the term floods? So floods are nothing but these are the natural disasters, and this occurs due to heavy rainfall. So due to heavy rainfall, due to the floods, agricultural crops would get affected, many plants would get destroyed, and even the death of the human beings can also be seen due to the natural disaster called floods. So these are the two different natural conditions. One is droughts and the other one is floods that can be seen in the water bodies like rivers. Drought is nothing but the dried up condition, and floods are nothing but the heavy rainfall. The overflow of the rivers can lead to flood. So this is about the lesson rivers, means of livelihood. In this lesson we have studied about famous river, that is river Godavari, from where it originates, where it finally meets, and we have also discussed about the persons who are dependent on the river Godavari for their livelihood. We have also seen how the industries and thermal power stations are responsible, how they cause the water pollution, and also about the floods and droughts. I hope it's clear to you. I'll be back with a new lesson in the next session. Meet you in next class. Thank you.